So, am I missing anything?
And turn off your
media.
cell phones, too. Let's
Yes,
make
turn
sure.
off your cell phones. We've got a hashtag Something Brewing ICT if you are using social media. Also, the hashtag for our presenter, BudyRest, who will be second. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first presenter. His name is John with the Alternitive Board. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, and I guess I get to blame Sunflower Bank for the Nitro Joes, so if I drop the flipper, somebody pick it up for me. It's pretty good stuff. The Alternative Board. By the way, this stuff here on my face is not my attempt to try to look like the younger crowd here today. It's Movember, No Shave Movember. I'm a prostate cancer survivor, and so I participate in the local awareness and support group here in the Wichita community. I own the Wichita franchise for the Alternative Board. A few questions. Do you ever have trouble sleeping at night as a business owner or whatever you do? Do you ever feel alone when there are big decisions to make? Do you ever wish you had someone to test ideas on? Do you wish you had a board around you to throw out those issues and opportunities? Do you ever wonder what you don't know? When I was 26 years old, I got my first job with some employees that I inherited. They were all old people in their mid-40s. And you know what? They taught me real quick all the stuff that I didn't know. I learned real fast because I didn't have a choice. What is the Alternative Board? First of all, it's a 26-year-old franchise business that's headquartered in Westminster, Colorado. There are 215 franchises around the world in 15 countries. It's a family-owned, managed firm, and I started with the Wichita, South Central Kansas franchise here in January of 2015. What do? We believe that collective wisdom, a group that help think through ideas, brings a strategic advantage. And who is the hardest person to hold accountable in your life? Myself. So we bring collective wisdom and accountability to the business world. What we deliver to CEOs, business leaders, owners, who want to address their challenges in an affordable and transformational way. They benefit from immediate and positive changes through competitive advantage. Now, how do we do this? What we do is we put together boards with 4 to 10 non-competing companies. They all sign confidentiality agreements, and they meet once a month for 4 hours. The topics at those board meetings or the agenda for those board meetings are what the individual business owners bring to the meeting. Secondly, we provide up to 2 hours of private coaching session every month to each member. And in those sessions, we talk about the topic they brought to the last meeting, the topic they're going to take to the next meeting, and then we have some proprietary business tools that we have developed over the last 26 years. We do an MRI on the business, for example. And after the member takes that assessment, I deliver to them 2 reports. One is about 20 pages. It's a SWOT analysis. The other is a complete assessment of the business. Anyway, we do all of this in a confidential manner, one-on-one, and then also in the group in the board meetings. Our annual salary annual survey of business owners that belong to and do not belong to the Alternative Board. 73% of those that belong reported increased profits. 76% believe their board in tab is their best group of business advisors. And 56% of the members enjoy greater work-life balance. Again, the process, boards, coaching sessions, and proprietary tools. Where are we at today in Wichita? I've got 3 full boards. We're interviewing for the 4th board. I've got working with the Wichita Independent Business Association in developing another board. My current members, their businesses range from $150,000 in revenue to $30 million. They have 1 to 60 employees. The age of the business owners is 22 to 62 years, and the age of the businesses are 1.5 to 65 years. That's it. Curiosity. How many consultants, business consultants, advisors, business coaches might be in the room today? Hold up your hand. Okay? See, those of you that didn't hold up your hand, you're not alone. There's a number of people here that they don't do the same thing I do, but they do things that help businesses be more successful. Questions?
Good job, good job. Give them a round of applause. Well, I think those of you that have been here know we're going to do question and answer. Please raise your hand high. I'll be coming around, and we'll have some other people that are coming around with mics as well. So raise them high and ask them hard questions, really pointed, like make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, thank you.
On your left.
Well, I'm curious what your revenue model is. Like, do you charge a certain amount per month, or do you take a certain equity from the businesses? How does that work?
I charge a fee every month. And confidential. You have to have a meeting with me. Someplace between $250 and $750 a month, depending on the level of service, all the way from coaching only to some of the larger companies. Where do you pay the
Hold on, Bob. We'll get you a mic. You know how to do this.
What's your background that gives you the background to be this kind of a business?
That's a good question. You want me to give you the whole load or just a part? I'll give you the part of it. I spent 25 years in trade association management I managed a state association here in Kansas. And then, it was Kansas Livestock Association. I went from there to the CEO of the National Cattlemen's Association in Denver, with offices in Denver and Washington, D.C. Spent way too much time in Washington, D.C. But I came back to Kansas. I grew up around Newton, Kansas State product, and spent 6 years with Koch Industries in one of their companies. And then ever since then, I've been either in my own consulting practice. All this time, I've worked with small, medium-sized companies, and that's what I do today. I've had my venture into startups, one very successful and one not too successful. Try opening a business with a perishable product 30 days before 9/11. So, next question.
So, what do you pay the advisors? And bear in mind that in a case of a lot of startups, people who are advisors actually get advisory shares in the company. So I'm just interested in what your model is.
Yeah. No, I do not get shares in the company. The advisors? Yeah. Well, the advisors are the board. Yeah. The board are the owners of companies, and they advise each other. They become each other's board of directors.
So I understand that, but do they get paid?
No, they pay to be a part of the Alternative Board. That's how they get advice and counsel, is from For example, every one of my boards, the three that I have today, have when they're sitting down around the table, there's some place between 150 and 250 years of business experience to draw from. Topics range from employee, HR issues, sales and marketing, business operations, and each member then brings their topic to the board meeting, and the others then offer their advice and counsel. Now, they also then participate in each other's topics. So in a 4-hour session, they're going to participate in 8 topics that are business-related, specific to their general size and nature of business.
Well, you partially answered my initial question. I was looking for sort of a representative kind of list of topics that you might address in your board situations, such as, you said, startup. What about succession planning, business termination, sales, those kinds of things that are being addressed by many, particularly family-held corporations right now, where things are transitioning between the, quote, old method of doing things and, quote, the new method of doing things, which involves a great deal of technology. Do you have technology expertise in your boards?
We do. We have a variety of companies. And like I said, they're all non-competing companies. The ideal board would not only be non-competing companies, there would not be any customers or vendors also in the group. Now, the fact is that after a period of time, if I'm been sitting across the table from you for a year in a monthly board meeting, you have what I need, I'm probably going to do business with you, and that's fine. We don't discourage that. So the topics range. For example, the last meeting, one member brought and had an acquisition opportunity. So he lays out the dollars and cents, the opportunity that is there, and the other board members then react to that. In this case, it's mostly a question of, do I acquire that business and that territory, or do I go try to compete with who's there and just get that territory? So that was the issue. Another topic, and this shows the range. What in the heck do all of you do for Christmas parties today? You know? That was kind of a new one. Finding employees in various niches. How do I find them? And the relationship that they have is they all have unique employees. I mean, we all think our business is unique, and that is probably true. Our problems and challenges aren't unique, though. They're common to other businesses. So they can help each other how they found this person that had to have this particular skill set or whatever. So there's a variety of topics, and sales and marketing issues all the time. How to grow the business, what works in marketing, how to fill that pipeline of leads, so forth.
In the back on your right.
Well, kind of on that note, that's my question is, how does the alternative board market to business owners, especially bigger businesses where the owners are hard to get to?
Yeah. You saw the range of companies that we have, a variety of ways. I've been active in the Wichita Independent Business Association for one. When I started 2 years ago, I've got a database of 4,500 names. And you know what? That database is not too bad. It's pretty good. So I spend time on the telephone. I like owner-to-owner calls. My peers around the country think I'm crazy, but I don't mind doing that. So that's one of the things I do. I'd use sample board meetings, invite people to attend a 2-hour session where they get to experience it. I found those to be very useful. Just awareness. You know, you can add up the hours with 3 boards and getting ready to start 2 more boards. I'm pretty busy. So there's a variety of ways to grow the business, and I'm looking into those now too. So, but getting through the gatekeeper, this is a surprising thing to me, but it has worked. When I call up a owner in that class that you're talking about, a larger owner, and I'm able to tell that gatekeeper, oh, Joe and I connected a couple weeks ago on LinkedIn. I don't lie about that. I mean, I really connected with him. I get through pretty quick. If he's available, or she, I get to talk to them. And when I'm able to tell them that, we get a meeting more times than not. Just a little technique. I was surprised that worked that way.
Hi. Companies have boards, right? What is the distinction? Are these companies that are too small to have their own boards, so that they essentially are creating boards amongst small companies, or do people participate that already have their own boards as well? I mean,
Typically, these are companies that don't have boards. Now, I do have a couple, 3 that do have boards. For the most part, those are family boards. And they're looking for something outside the immediate family that can help give them advice, counsel, etc. My members today, as you saw up there, that 65-year-old company, they're in their 3rd generation of management. I've got one company today that the dad who is moving out is on one board, son who is moving in is on a separate board. And I meet with them individually, and what we do there is very confidential. We only have a threesome when they have agreed to it.
In the back on your right. On your right.
Morning, John.
Hi, Nick.
I just wanted to say real quick, I've been on his boards, and the reason I went on them was because I was a small company, and we all hear about mastermind groups, and essentially this is one of the most powerful mastermind groups I was part of for over a year. And so I just really want to recommend that you get with John, because it's an invaluable resource that most of us don't have access to at an extremely great price. And so his coaching and all the input you get from these other guys, I can't recommend it high enough.
Thanks, Nick. I didn't pay him for that either.
One more follow-up question.
Sure.
If you are in need of expertise that you don't have on your boards, do you call from other boards? Do you hire that expertise? How do you bring that expertise to the table?
Good, very good question. One, if that expertise is on another board, we will bring them from one board to the other. On the other hand, I'm also developing a list of resources. One of the topics, most of the time, the agenda is totally committed to their topics. However, occasionally there is an issue that is common interest among the board members, and they want somebody from outside that is the expert. So we brought in an Office 365 expert to open one of the board meetings, and it was very beneficial to most of the board members. One of the things we do very up front is I ask, who's your accountant? You don't have one? Oh, maybe you ought to think about getting one. Do you have a relationship with that accountant? And I don't mean filing your taxes. Do you have a relationship? Same way with an attorney, same way with a financial advisor. I encourage every member to have at least those resources, and then we help them if they need some other resources too. So we're always on the lookout for that.
So in this format, does the advisory board, how does it work? Do I, as a CEO, agree when I join to give voting power to everybody else on the board, or is it just basically a conversation to give me more insight?
It's an advisory board. Now, one of the slides up there mentioned accountability. One of the things that happens in the boards is that they will have a topic, they got good advice, they agree at the meeting they're going to do 1, 2, 3. Those are new, they hadn't thought of them before. Guess what happens the next board meeting? When the next guy sees them, hey, did you get that done? What's the progress? And or I will raise those issues in the coaching sessions in between board meetings. So.
Okay, the last and most important question is, what does the Wichita community can we do to help you?
Have a book.
Gotta quiet her down.
She didn't get to ask a question, so now she gets one of her books. If you go online to that address, it's on your card that was sitting on your chair, and go to that website and take that little assessment. That is not our MRI on your business. That's a quick 17-question assessment that you will get answers on. That's one. Number 2, seek advice. I go back to not knowing what we don't know. There's a lot of business coaches, business advisors, business mentors. There's help out there. Go look for it. I'm one option, but I just want to challenge any new business owners or entrepreneurs to make sure you have those resources in hand.
Looks like you have a lovely assistant in the back handing out cards too, so thank her.
My wife, Maggie, is...
All right. Well, thank you, John. We really appreciate you. Give a round of applause.
Thank you. I've got another book you can give away.
Okay, we'll give that away.
All
I'm
right.
going to give you a one-of-a-kind 1 million cups drinking mug. I advise you to either put hot or cold liquids in there. So,
is nitro okay?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. All right.
Except for
I'm
I think
gonna
we're
get some
out.
more
So
nitro.
I'm going to invite Jake Wayman up real quick. He's going to give away this book. He didn't know he was doing that, but he is going to do that. And then he's going to say some other stuff.
Well, we're actually have 2 giveaways today. So for those of you, that was what he wanted you to do, was go on here and fill it out. Yeah, that's what he was asking. Well, if you want to take a picture of it, you can. Actually, I'm going to switch it over, though. There you go. Okay, so raise your hand if you actually downloaded the 1 Million Cups mobile app. Okay? See, now I'm stuck now because I actually got to find somebody to actually give this book away to. Who can pull it up right now and show it to me in less than 10 seconds? Oh, he got it right there. Oh, boom. You get the book. You got to come up and get it, though. I got to see it, though. You got to come bring it up to me. There you go. See, he's checking in. He's being active. He's getting local. That's what he's getting. All right, there you go. Here's your book. So today's a little bit unique for us, and I'd actually like to invite all of the community organizers, the founding community organizers for 1 Million Cups. So if you are one of those people, please come up on stage and join me up here. Stage, whatever, platform, wherever. So for those of you that don't know, it was probably about a year ago this month that we all came together in this room and met monthly until we actually launched in February of this year. So it's been a year since we've actually got this process going with 1 Million Cups. And so I actually want to go down the line and have each one of these guys introduce themselves. And I want you guys to tell me why you were involved in 1 Million Cups. So I'm gonna start with, we're going to start with Kenton. Mr. Kenton Hansen.
Hi, my name is Kenton Hansen. I am around, and I'm the software development director at Innovar. And as that, actually, it was about a year ago on Friday that I started that job. Tanya Witherspoon, who's not here, who should be up here right now, she told me that one of my responsibilities was to help start 1 Million Cups. And I told her that was a bad idea for a myriad of reasons, but I was wrong, which I'm able to admit. I'm taking up too much time, and that's a good part of what I do, actually.
I'm Ted Crewo with Never Kansas. I work for a nonprofit that supports entrepreneurs. We have a lot of programs in lending programs for just all sorts of entrepreneurs all throughout the state. I just love this kind of stuff, and this is one of the best parts of my job every Wednesday, making the coffee.
I'm Mark Torline. I'm the director for the Center for Entrepreneurship at Wichita State. And a good reason for why I'm here is one of the things that we noticed is we just needed to develop the ecosystem to help ideas get from the light bulb goes on to revenue generation, and this was a great way to get involved in that process and involve the center and everything. So very glad I'm here.
Hi, I'm Bob Lighton. I'm a Wichita native, and I moved back here about 3 years ago. For about 10 years, I was research director at the Kauffman Foundation, which started 1 Million Cups. And so I just want to tell you a quick story that maybe some of you other guys don't know how this all started. Because I think we're in over 80 cities, something like that. So it's over 90. And so this is how it started. About a year before I left, we had an intern named Nate Olson. And Nate thought up the idea of having like just a few entrepreneurs in Kansas City start meeting every week. And he thought up the name 1 Million Cups because it was related to coffee somehow. I can't remember what Nate's logic was. And this entire movement around the country was born out of the idea of a 21-year-old intern, just so you'll know.
Hi, I'm Ryan Upmore. I'm the executive director for Inovar at Wichita State University. My story is very much like Kenton Hansen's. Tanya Witherspoon was my predecessor here at Inovar and got us going on this. But also, I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. So it's both through Wichita State that we want everybody to succeed, but also as a personal endeavor, I'd like to be knowing all of you and figuring out what you all do and learning from everybody. So.
My name's Jake Ramstack. I kind of came in through the back door on this deal, kind of literally and figuratively. But I think I'm just a Wichita guy that wanted to help entrepreneurs. I thought this was a great start for the ecosystem. I had a heart for our city, and I wanted to connect all these people together.
And my name is Jake Wayman, and I was actually in Kansas City about a year and a half ago and frequently was at 1 Million Cups. And when I moved back, I realized that we didn't have 1 Million Cups, and I heard there was a group putting it together, and I met each one of these folks, and we launched it. And so, interesting story about me, I actually sold insurance before when I moved back to Wichita, and now I'm serve as the director of the ED Accelerator, which is kind of, I got that job because of what I do with 1 Million Cups, so that's kind of a success story behind that. There's a few more people that aren't here with us today. One is Tanya Witherspoon, Trish Braystead, Jonathan George, and Carlos Fernandez. Am I missing anybody? And Scott Wittick. Scott Wittick actually is the director for the Community Engagement Institute, and he's one who's been gracious enough to let us be here every single Wednesday. So without Wichita State, we would not be in this room today, which is a very good thing. And so I'd actually like to invite 4 people up to the stage with us. They're actually the new community organizers who are going to transition onto our team. So I would like to bring up Benny over here, Rachel, Aaron, and Keith. Where you at? Keith is hiding. So I'm going to give them each a moment to, actually, let me stop for a second. Let's give our community organizers that we currently have up here a round of applause. This is a big effort. What? Yeah, you guys can exit. And I actually am going to give each one of them a chance to introduce themselves because each one of these individuals have been religiously coming to 1 Million Cups for quite some time and actually have been volunteering behind the scenes. So I'm going to let Benny kick it off and introduce himself.
My name is Benny Bowden. I am an aspiring entrepreneur like probably at least 90% of the people in this room, I think. That is mainly the one thing that attracted me to 1 Million Cups. When I first came, I just had a personal connection with the people that were up here presenting every week and the people in this room asking questions, pushing them to be better. And I just think it's something that's really moving Wichita in the right direction. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I had started volunteering doing sound with Kenton and No, actually, but no, I'm kidding. So, yep, that's me.
I'm Rachel Garens. I co-own ICT Muscle and Joint Clinic with this guy. We started coming to 1 Million Cups. I think the presentation hit it earlier. Sometimes an entrepreneur, you feel a little alone. And I'm from Wichita, born and raised, and moving back, I didn't have an awesome outlook on it. And coming here changed my opinion entirely. I love seeing returning faces, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
And I'm Keith Sparks, and I co-own ICT Muscle and Joint Clinic, like Rachel said. A little bit about it is Rachel went to one of the first meetings in early March, and she came back, and she got so excited. She told me, "We got to go to this event next Wednesday. You got to join it." And I was like, "Okay, let's go check it out." And it was fantastic. It was phenomenal, and it was this group here. And so it's really awesome to see the community getting behind each other and learning from each other at how we can start connecting. I've heard some amazing stories here from people pitching that I never knew Wichita had something that did that. So it's been very eye-opening and rewarding for that.
Hi, I'm Erin Blevins, and I work for Wichita Technology Corporation. We do business consulting for startups, so coming here just really aligns with what we do. And it's great to just hear in person from entrepreneurs versus getting emails from you guys, because I can really hear your passion. So, thanks.
Let's give him a round of applause. And I'm going to invite Kent Hansen back up to the, are we calling this a stage? Sure. Call him to the stage. He has a couple announcements.
Yeah, I met Jake maybe a year ago, and actually the first time I met him, I didn't really like him. I mean, I still don't, but it was true the first time I saw him too. So another thing I want you to do, that's not true. Just, I'm a jerk and that's funny, right? Okay, so who has the 1 Million Cups app again? Raise your hand if you actually raise the app open up. And who's checked in this morning? Who opened their app and checked in this morning? It's not hard, guys. It's not like yeah, you can do it just 5 seconds. Okay, Jeremy, here's a 1 Million Cups cup for you. Thanks. Why do you come to 1 Million Cups?
Well, I'm new to the area and expanding a business here, so I just needed a way to connect with other people that are like-minded.
Great, thanks. I don't really have anything to add to that. So, events coming up. There's always amazing stuff happening for entrepreneurs and those who are interested in entrepreneurship at startupwichita.com/events, or just click on the events menu item once you're there. We have all the events that are listed. If you have something that you think entrepreneurs would like to know about, you can create an account and list your event there for free for a limited time. I'm kidding, it'll always be free. One that I wanted to bring your attention to is right here, the North American Tech Tour, which is taking place the week after Thanksgiving. Paul Singh is an entrepreneur. His companies have been acquired by 1776, and he's a big deal. If you don't know who he is, Google his name, and you'll be like, whoa, this guy's a big deal. He's coming to Wichita. He's bringing a couple people with him. There's going to be 3 days of events. Carlos Fernandez and Clutch Studios are the ones who are putting this together. As far as I know, it's all going to be free, too, so that's a big deal. And if you want to pitch, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to pitch your company to Paul, then please reach out to, the easiest way, reach out to me, and I'll make sure that he gets, and there's info over here, so don't bother me. Just grab some stuff and take care of it yourself. And that's really the events that I want to talk about. So I'm going to give it back to Jake, that jerk.
I'm actually a nice guy. I'd like to bring up our next presenter, Mr. Trevor Krotz with BudyRest Pet Products and also Pup IQ. Trevor was in our accelerator. He was one of the first companies to go through that program with us. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Trevor, so let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Jake. Really nice guy, Jake Wayman. I'll vouch for that. My name's Trevor Krotz. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm the president of BudyRest Pet Products and Pup IQ. We make world-class pet products that improve the lives of animals. So our story really starts with Buddy the Labradoodle. Buddy is my dog, and he's actually the reason why I got into the pet industry. You see, about 6 years ago on a routine visit to the vet, I was really surprised to find out that big dogs like Buddy actually live not very long. In fact, they live about 4 years less than the average dog. And it's really, in searching this further, it's because big dogs suffer from joint problems. Now, Veterinarians do all sorts of different things for joint problems. They recommend, pain medicine, they recommend supplements, they even recommend stem cell injections. But the ironic thing is that oftentimes, after all this treatment, those dogs go home and they lay on the hard floor. Now, at the time I discovered all this, I was working in the human mattress industry. So I understood firsthand how important support was to the body. And it was easy for me to see that there was nothing out there that offered the support that big dogs like Buddy needed. And so, with my good friend Jordan Tibbetts, we decided to take the same science that's prevalent in the human mattress industry and cross it over into the pet industry. We decided to do something. We saw an opportunity to create a business that not only would help Buddy, but the millions of dogs out there that were destined to suffer the same fate. So in 2011, we started BudyRest. Now, the way BudyRest beds work is our beds take the dog's weight and equally redistribute it across the surface of the bed, eliminating any kind of painful pressure points and eliminating arthritic pain. Our beds are all veterinarian recommended to promote better joint health in younger dogs, as well as relieve arthritic pain in older dogs. More so than that, our beds are also the most durable products out there. They all have a 10-year full replacement, non-prorated warranty, and they are all designed to be the last dog bed you ever have to buy. And in addition, all of our beds stay clean and they rarely need to be washed. Now, the way we accomplish that is with our special Krypton fabric. We use a special fabric that is a silver ion technology permanently impregnated into the fibers. It's a whole lot more than waterproof. It actually stays clean because it's antibacterial, it's hyperallergenic, and it doesn't get dirty. If you want to machine wash it, you can, but you very rarely need to. Our business actually started in a one-car garage, and so we're very fortunate to be where we are today. We have an all-inclusive manufacturing facility in downtown Wichita. We have a fantastic staff of people that are passionate about what they do, and we have a great culture of lean methodology that permeates throughout our entire organization. One thing that is really important to our organization is innovation. We're always focused on innovation. In fact, we're the first company to bring gel-infused memory foam to market in the pet industry. What this essentially means is we were the first ones to bring a memory foam dog bed that doesn't retain heat. We also have an exclusive proprietary technology that's patented. It's called the Dormio OctaSpring technology. It's a memory foam spring system that actually helps older dogs get in and out of bed. We've been very fortunate over the years to have some very significant growth. We've doubled the size of our business every year since 2011. And we've had some great partnerships. We've had partnerships with Frontgate, Cabela's, Sky Mall, and Dr. Foster Smith. We've gotten some great recognition along the way. We've won about every single award you can win in the pet industry for our quality and our innovation. But the best recognition that we get is when we hear from our customers. When our customers send in emails or leave feedback about how our product has helped their animal, how they can see a visible difference in the pain of their animal, and even sometimes how our product has brought comfort to the animal in their final stages of their lives. Now, BudyRest is going to continue to grow. However, we see a huge opportunity with brick-and-mortar pet stores across the United States. So we want to be at a little bit more affordable price point. So I'm pleased to share with you the culmination of what we've been working with the help of the E2E Accelerator. It's our new brand focused on promoting a higher quality, more accessible, more affordable product line that's incredibly differentiated, and it's called Pup IQ. Pup IQ is all about using intelligent fabric and intelligent design and intelligent materials to make highly differentiated products. To give you an example, the way we do that, we use our smart fabrics. We use our smart Kevlar thread, which gives you 5 times the seam strength of any other product out there. Makes it incredibly durable. We use industrial-sized zippers. Our products are not only incredibly durable, but they're also great looking. So we released our products in 3 different product lines. Our Smart Pup product line that has our intelligent fabric solutions. Our Luxe Pup product line that uses faux furs as well as elegant fabrics. And then we also have our Posh Pup product line, which is splashes of color and really on-trend products. We've also decided to enter the pet travel category and diversify our offerings. We have our Smart Pup seat protectors. And then really the reason why we've gone with Pup IQ is it gives us a lower price point that's more accessible to the masses. It's easier for us to get on the shelves in the brick and mortar stores. It provides more versatility for us to enter into different product verticals. And ultimately what it's about allowing us to get more share of the huge pet industry. Our progress so far, we've developed highly differentiated products. We've launched them at Super Zoo. We've got distribution come on board. We've got independent retailers. We've even secured catalog placements for Q1 of next year in some premium spots. And we just found out last week we actually won the Industry Recognition Award for Best Dog Bed, which is kind of like winning the Oscar for Best Picture on your first movie. So it's pretty quick. Our vision for the future is simple. We have aggressive expansion, expanding distribution and expanding different channels, entering different product verticals, innovating new products, and ultimately gaining more share of the industry. So BudyRest is positioned to continue to grow. We're going to use the versatility of Pup IQ in order to gain more market share and innovate new products and enter different verticals. We'd like to thank you for your time, and I want to invite all of you to join us on our quest to improve the quality of life of animals with high-quality pet products. Thank you very much.
That was a great pitch, man.
Thank you.
It's like you went through an accelerator and they taught you how to pitch really, really well.
They did. Actually, I'd like to give credit to the accelerator and also Miss Teresa over there, who's been very helpful.
Man alive, that was great.
Thank
now,
you.
I don't feel like I have any questions, but let's try to make him stumble. If you have a question,
Come at
please
me.
raise your hand.
Okay, I've heard this pitch before, but you are much better. This is a fantastic pitch. So,
Thank you very much.
Okay, so one suggestion I hadn't thought of before since the last time we met is why don't you go to K-State and see if you can get a scientific study that would be funded that would, randomized controlled trial to see whether or not this actually lengthens the lives of these dogs.
Sure. So that's actually a very great comment. I will tell you that I had a relationship with the K-State Veterinary School. It's a great organization. It's one of the best in the country. The actual director of the K-State veterinary program and me had a couple of really good conversations. We actually had plans to do that, and he died suddenly in a plane accident, in a plane crash. And I never really found that contact that was willing to work with us after that.
I can help you.
Okay, absolutely. Open to that. Thank you.
That's what we do here.
Are you a produce-on-demand company, or is it produce them and sell them as fast as you can?
That's a great question. We use what's called a just-in-time production schedule system. So we try to stay as lean as possible by bringing in the minimum amount of materials, so you don't have to carry that cost over and build up a lot of inventory. However, I will tell you that does fluctuate throughout the year. Generally speaking, we make our beds as fast as we can, and we sell them as fast as we can. And I can tell you that in the Q4 of this year, we're actually building up stock. And with the Pup IQ model, it's really difficult with the JIT system to actually keep stock for retailers, because when they order, they want it quick, and they want to be able to put it in their shelves really quick. So we're kind of using a hybrid. We're filling it all out. The great thing is we have a fantastic staff, as I said, that's passionate about what they do. They're master craftsmen, and they make great products quickly.
Very well done this morning. You offered lots of sandwiches, by the way, to the
Did I?
audience. Sorry, that's new to
Sandwich here, sandwich here.
So you mentioned new verticals for your products with Pup IQ. What are some of those verticals? What are some of those products that you foresee in the future?
Appreciate the question, Mike. We have a couple different things going on. We've got some very exciting things going on that I really wish I could share with the group. Unfortunately, there's some things that I can and I can't. I will tell you that we're in the middle of an acquisition of another company that has some complementary product lines that we're going to bring into the Pup IQ fold. With the Pup IQ brand, it was not designed to be a dog bed brand. It's just that's the low-hanging fruit for us to enter the market. Obviously, we have all the facilities and everything we need and the know-how to make dog beds, so that's why we started with that, just to get some traction. But ultimately, the idea of Pup IQ is a lifestyle brand of intelligently designed products using intelligent materials, and that might include things like smart collars, that we can use machine learning to bridge communication gaps between animals. And then we have intentions of innovating and pioneering a new category of intelligently designed dog toys that exercise the mind as well as the body, specifically marketed towards senior dogs, because older dogs suffer from dementia and other things, and their mind needs to be activated as well.
Right back here.
So you said that you have a better price point. So what is the price point, one? And then two, if it's a memory foam, why can't I just go buy memory foam and throw a cover over it, and why do I need to buy this?
I love that question. Thank you very much for asking it. Two parts. The first part's going to be that our price point, BudyRest is a premium product. It's designed to last a long time. It's not a cheap product. First and foremost, it's an investment. It's an investment in a product that's designed to last the lifetime of your animal. Has a 10-year full replacement warranty on it. So it does cost more money than the average bed. They start off anywhere between $100 and go all the way up to $550 on the BudyRest side. People thought we were crazy, but people buy our products every single day. Besides it being an investment in the product, because it is an investment, you will save money in the long run with one of our beds. It's really an investment in the health of your animal. We have the vets, the science. We use tactile pressure mapping to ensure that our beds are effective at redistributing weight and taking away pressure points. And so it is an investment in a product and an investment in your animal for the future. Pup IQ is designed to be in the $79 to $150 range, so it's a little bit more accessible at the independent stores, independent retailers. Their whole idea for that is high-quality, durable products that aren't cheap Chinese beds that you wash once and they fall apart. The second part of your question is the part that I really would love to answer. You could obviously go to the store and buy a piece of memory foam and sew a cover up. We use a special fabric on our covers, as I was showing you earlier. It's a silver ion technology. You feel free to go to a Joann Fabrics and buy that. It's about $50 a yard at retail. You could go and get memory foam, but memory foam is not the science. In fact, there's a ton of memory foam beds out there. In fact, we have a ton of Chinese competitors that buy memory foam or bring memory foam to market. Ultimately, what we bring to the table is we bring a highly differentiated product that is tactile pressure mapped, which means it's the same science in the human mattress industry. We actually know what levels, depending on what weight variables, what sizes of dogs actually redistribute that weight. And that's what you need for it to be truly orthopedic, for them to sleep with a straight spinal alignment, and for them to have that better joint health for the long run. And then as far as the quality goes, we have master craftsmen. We use Kevlar thread to sew it all together. We just make a really good, high-quality product. And we have the know-how and the design and the passion behind the product to make it work.
In the back, in the middle.
Great presentation, Trevor. So as
Thank
your
you.
distribution platforms increase, your sales opportunities increase, are you going to scale up your manufacturing, or is there a level at which you'll outsource?
That's a great question, Mark, and I appreciate that. The idea of Pup IQ, so BudyRest is well positioned, and we've had some tremendous growth, as we've shared. However, it is a niche market. And you're talking about expensive orthopedic dog beds that are scientifically based to improve the lives of animals. Pup IQ has a lot more versatility, a lot more upside. And so BudyRest could maybe only be this big, but Pup IQ has unlimited upside. And when we talk about that, manufacturing is not easy. And I always, people who know me know that, and I see a lot of faces in here, by the way, and I appreciate the support of everybody who showed up today. But people who know me know I'm a sales and marketing guy. Manufacturing is the hard part. And it sounded easy when we started off. We just need somebody to cut beds out, somebody to sew them up, and somebody to package them up and ship them out. It's pretty basic. But when you're dealing with large volume and you're dealing with international orders, it becomes very complex when you're talking about waste of time, waste of motion, waste of materials. And so the long answer to your short question was that I'd like to keep BudyRest in Wichita, and I'd like to keep Pup IQ in Wichita, and we have full intentions of manufacturing both here. But I think that we're going to need some outside help on the Pup IQ side. In fact, I've already explored with 2 or 3 different people in town, because it is important for us to keep the product here and make it 100% made in USA. Better than that, 100% made in Wichita. I can't make any guarantees and commitments to the future, but that is our intentions.
Right over here.
Question is the strategy just to go to brick and mortar, or are you even looking at the online side, e-commerce? Is that focus for both these products?
So that's a great question, and I appreciate you asking it. Originally, we envisioned that BudyRest would be a mass market type of play. We realized that the higher price points were going to get some resistance from retailers. But we thought that it was a strong enough, compelling product, and we thought we were good enough at what we do to kind of push through that. And although we had some initial success, we got about 200 or 300 retailers on board selling our products, it ultimately failed to gain the type of traction that we wanted it to, as the price points just prohibited that. And so ultimately, we made a pivot about 3 years ago with BudyRest to sell directly through mail order catalogs, directly e-commerce, directly online. And we're very happy with that. Our margins went from 20s to 60s. And so that's a fantastic place to be. With the Pup IQ side, though, that is specifically designed from the beginning to actually work for brick and mortar retailers, although there will obviously be a huge online presence as well. We want to blitz the market in every single way possible. And the way that we like to sell is not only direct to the consumer, which we'll continue to do with BudyRest, but we like to use premium partner placements like Sky Mall Catalog, like Frontgate, like Cabela's, and those types of things.
Hi, Trevor.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Nice job, by the way.
Thank you.
So I was wondering, I know that a lot of veterinary clinics have little boutique retail areas in their stores, and of course everyone treats their animals like children. Are you in any of the local veterinary clinics for retail sales?
Yes, there's a few veterinarians in town that do promote our products, as well as a few pet stores in town. I will tell you that we decided after the first couple of years, we were on the road. We were sleeping on BudyRest beds in motels, quite literally. And we really grinded. I mean, this has been a struggle and a challenge from the very beginning. So I don't want to stand up here and act like it's all been, unicorns and rainbows and strawberry fields. It has been a absolute challenge to climb up this mountain. And that being said, we now are much more strategic with what we do. Rather than try to go door knock on vet clinics and try to get past gatekeepers, as they were talking about earlier, we actually go to the big vet shows and exhibit there, and that's how we gain our vet advocates and our supporters. That is also something I'll address at the end of the conversation.
Okay. I know you said about washing, like the durability, it won't fall apart, but what about if your dog destroys everything and he wants to tear up this bed? How do we know that it won't fall apart then?
That's a great question, and anybody that tells you that something is chew-proof or indestructible for a dog is absolutely lying to you. Dogs can chew through concrete, they can chew through steel. I've heard stories. They'll chew aluminum siding off of houses. What I will tell you is that we actually have innovated a particular product line for that to actually provide a solution for that. And what that's called is our Tough Buddy Titan product line. It's our Titan beds use a 1680 denier ballistic nylon, and then it's reinforced with Kevlar thread. It is quite literally the strongest dog bed on the market. Ballistic nylon was actually invented in World War II for flak jacket protection for our airmen, so it is super tough. That being said, even that can be destroyed. The reason why dogs chew is not because they don't like the durability of their bed. They chew because they're suffering from separation anxiety, or they chew because they're boredom, or they chew just because they're puppies and they like to explore. So what we like to say is, although we do have a product that's specifically built for dogs like that, and we invite you to give it a try, ultimately it needs to be not the solution, but part of the solution, and ultimately you need to address the root cause.
Hi, that kind of brought up a question. Have you ever considered doing something taste-oriented so that when they do chew on it, it's something that's unpleasant to them, that, as an option? But the actual question I had is, BudyRest, you said something about international sales. What have you run into challenges-wise to, with margins and shipping and distribution and so forth? Because obviously it's more expensive to get it somewhere outside the continental United States.
Sure. There's two-part questions there. Let me answer the first because I think that's a great one, and I'm gonna give away some of my secret sauce. The apple bitter spray and all that doesn't work. Some dogs will just spray that on there and they like to lick it up. I mean, quite literally. I actually have an idea that I've been unable to source about an internal type of bad tasting thing that would be terrible if they breached a seam. Then it would affect them. But I've been unable to source that. I found it in Europe, but I've not been able to find a supplier here. The second part of that, it is absolutely a challenge to do international sales, especially with BudyRest. People look at our high price points and they think that we must be making a killing. But the product is not made to work really for international distribution because we build so much quality and we make it here. You can make it in China for pennies on the dollar. We make it here. And not just out of patriotic duty. We make it here because we want to make the best quality product and we want to control all the elements that go with it. But ultimately, we've got distribution in Canada and we've got distribution in Australia. Australia's a long way away, but they love us down there. We're kind of like David Hasselhoff is in Germany. I mean, people, for some reason, find us in Australia and they want to buy our products. So, but it is a challenge, and it's something that we're working on. And that's ultimately what Pup IQ is also to help with, is to make it a more affordable product.
On your right.
I was wondering about your plans for automation. Do you still have guys like cutting out fabric, or do you have like machines, and what's your future look like there?
Sure. Great question. We have I can tell you that we've come a long, long way from where we started out. We're pretty efficient. We do have 2 cutting tables, and then we have a room full of industrial sewing machines. We also have an industrial quilting machine, which is about a $30,000 piece of equipment that will go in there and quilt anything. And then we also have our own embroidery studio and our own photography studio that allows us to embroider products and get them for sale quickly, which is one thing that we look at as our advantage is our flexibility and the ability to be nimble, which our big Chinese competitors aren't able to match us on. So we're always moving forward. But to actually answer your question, there's a couple solutions we're looking at. As far as automation, there's laser cutters. There's some different things that we can do to speed up and increase our process and lower our overhead. But ultimately, those are an investment. And we've invested in equipment as we've gone along, as we scaled the business. Now, that's the biggest thing as far as, when you have a lot of sales, a lot of people think, okay, well, things must be great. Although it's a good problem to have a lot of sales, it's still a problem. And that's the thing that people need to recognize, is that it's not easy. And growth is a challenge in its own right. And so along the ways, you need to be very strategic with how you invest and what you invest in, but you absolutely have to reinvest in the company.
On your right.
It's kind of a strange question, but are you using analytics and data mining on BudyRest to drive your decisions for the Pup IQ side of?
Generally not. We're not selling direct to consumer on the Pup IQ side. We're selling to the wholesaler. So I'm using there's a lot of analytics that we're crossing over. I have huge databases of customers and people that I've built up over time. But analytics really plays its role in our direct consumer sales with BudyRest. In fact, recently we just dumped all of our customer data into a database, and it built out exactly who is buying our products. We created a duplicate audience, and now we're marketing directly to that audience on social media. So there is a component that's very important about using the data, but unfortunately, I think that it would be probably a waste, maybe not a waste of money, but we would definitely waste some money trying to market to the same people when they are 2 different products at 2 different price points, 2 different types of customers with 2 different types of needs. Ultimately, BudyRest has about 3 different types of customers. I always like to share this with people. We have Durable Dan, who's a good old boy who likes high-quality American products and hates the Chinese stuff. We have Concerned Connie, who just wants the best things for her animal. And then we have Highborn Holly, who gets the best in everything in life, and her dog does too. And so, the idea that we have the same customers, I think, it's not the case.
And the last question is, what does the Wichita community do to help you?
Ultimately, we're primed and positioned very well. The EDE Accelerator, I got to tell you, has been tremendous help for us. The main thing it did for us is it opened our eyes to how much value is in this community. And anybody who's considering the EDE Accelerator with one of your businesses, I highly recommend it. It's been a game changer for us. Now that I've had my eyes open and I recognize how much value is in this community, ultimately what we would ask out of you would be to offer your support. And by that I mean get behind us. Go to our BudyRest Facebook page, our Pup IQ Facebook page, our Instagram. Like us, share us. Go to your veterinarian next time you have a visit and ask them if they know about BudyRest, and just spread the word. Ultimately, that's what we're looking to do. We're a Wichita company, and we've been working in Wichita with our heads down for a long time. This is kind of our day out in the sun, and we'd appreciate all of your support, and I thank you all for your time for coming today. Thank you.
That was awesome. That was great. I feel like we need to give you another round of applause. Go Wichita.